Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're going to hop back into Garden of Good and Evil. I had promised that the next few turns would slow down, and indeed they have. I have 3 turns to do this episode, and I think I can get through all of them. But they are indeed slow, as promised. This is the calm before the storm. So I have 35 air gems from Scaleria. I didn't mention some of the diplomacy that had happened in the last episode, but I had sent Scaleria a bunch of nature gems, and there's a reason for that. Scaleria has been having a hard time doing battlefield enchantments, and therefore he's really been losing against Ryla. And I think the last time I had marched a scout through here, which was a good long while ago, he had a decent bit of territory. But I'm starting to see a bunch of things which I think used to be Scaleria's are now Ryla's. And I was talking with him, and he's definitely losing these fights. So we went through trying to understand why. And what we figured out was that his magic diversity is pretty low. He can communion up a few paths to get high-level magic. But then it's not always successful, and he doesn't really have high base paths to start with. So one of the things that we said would help, he has trouble getting Fog Warriors up. So one thing that would help is being able to forge some of the air items. Or having an air caster that he can put a crystal matrix on. And he can't make any of the crystal gear, which, by the way, guys, if you're in an advanced game and you can't get the Earth Astral Cross Path, the Earth Astral Cross Path to get crystal gear is a high priority for every nation if you think the game is going to run past, like, 60 turns. So, anyway, but he doesn't have good magic diversity, but he does have a high nature path. So what I'm going to do, and he has good conjuration research, is I'm going to send him a bunch of nature gems, and he's going to use it to summon a fairy queen. So that fairy queen will help get him high air access. The other thing he's going to do is he's going to start spending his death gems on specters, which are down here. Let me just hit D. So these, they cost 22 gems. They're death 1, and then they can get, I think, an earth, astral, death, water cross path, something like that. And you get 2 of those. So there's a chance you could get, it's like a 1 in 8 chance you can get earth astral as a cross path. So that is that's kind of what he's doing. So he gave me a bunch of air gems because we were trying to figure out what he could give me. He needs the death gems for the specters. Anyway, so he gave me these. I gave him nature gems, and I need my nature gems. I would love to cast them, but I would like to help Scaleria out because helping him will help me. So I hope, and I also gave him a crystal matrix for free. So hopefully that will help strengthen him up here, and he can take back. This is also part of the reason I'm having so much trouble with Ryla, is he has so much land up here in the north. So he has a really huge economy. Not only was his land down here and his land here, you know, he's got the island, he's got all the ocean, he's got a ton of land here, he also has some land over here. He is really big. So if Scaleria can take back part of the north, not only may Scaleria be a player in the late game, well, we're in the late game, the late game, but it will definitely weaken Ryla. So that's one of the things. We cast Teleport. Where did I do that? Wait, what? Redivinator? Oh, here we go. So I teleported here on top of... This is where I said this next episode would pick up. So it's kind of funny. I teleport on top of his Carrion Lord. Right? Who's got a Mind Shield and some other stuff. And he probably had him on some little thug raid that he thought would be fun. So instead he makes some skeletons. I teleport on him so he can't do it. And then I make some little he makes some skeletons, and they just get destroyed by Fire Shield. Meanwhile, my hit points are stable. They're not going up, even though I have Life Drain, because you can't Life Drain off undead. And there we go, I kill him in 1 hit. Didn't even blink. So now I'm going to kind of re-kit this guy and send him back in here. And what was nice about that was I picked up his Vine Shield. So I can always use a Vine Shield. I think that's my first Vine Shield, so we're going to send him back. He's going to get re-kitted in here. Now I'm teleporting this... Okay, let's go through all the events. I cast Earth Attack, I killed the Star Spawn. This is not one of his capital-only Star Spawn, this is one of his lesser Star Spawn. So anyway, he got wrecked. There's some battles, I'm going to go through these really quick. Okay, so that was my Dusk Elder. Then Ryla kills these dudes. That was right here on top of his fort. How did this work? I don't know if I ever saw this. Oh, she was on retreat. Okay. So we took that back, which actually is kind of nice. These are pretty good gym income sites, so I'm happy to have those back in the Empire. Then we attacked again here. So this is our little mage raider that I have geared up to be a temple destroyer against Ryla. And he's going to be extremely effective. With 24 magic resistance, he doesn't really have to worry about Mind Blast. And even if he did get paralyzed, once he has his spells up, Soul Vortex plus Invulnerability will kill them without him attacking. So, we're going to sneak away. Now, the reason we're going to sneak is because if he Cloud Trapezes or teleports somebody on top of me, they will take the province in the magic phase, but I will already be sneaking out. If I were to attack move out, it would be difficult. He'd have to guess which province I was going to if he were going to attack normally. But if he moved in the magic phase on top of me with teleport, he would catch me, right? So by sneaking out, there's no way he can catch me when I move. That's a really subtle thing that I think that's the first time I've really used it in this game. I've kind of known about it, but I haven't really used it to my advantage because I haven't been dealing with stealthy thugs. But this is one of the reasons stealthy thugs are so good. There's I want to get this one too. So what I'm going to do is I'm moving in. Whoops. I'm moving in a bunch of Long Dead commanders, Mound Fiends, and then Long Dead to go underwater next turn. And he won't be able to tell a change in my fort numbers. But right now he has a Wraith Lord, and I'm hoping as soon as this Wraith Lord leaves, which I assume he will eventually, I'm going to just walk in here and kill this temple. And the other thing is I realized how effective this strategy is, and I don't know totally why I wasn't doing it earlier. I mean, part of it I didn't have the alteration research, but then I did. I think kind of the reason is death gems were just so scarce. So I'm sending him underwater. He doesn't have an amulet of anti-magic, which really would be ideal if I could have made one and put one on him. But he doesn't. So anyway, he's going underwater. He can mist form. That's why he has one air gem. If I think there will be a tough fight or something, I'll have a mist form. Because mist form is air 2, but you can do it with air 1 in a gem. And I think that is a lot of it. Let's see. Ryla took this province back. So the Rylan army was here last turn, and he decided, or I think he was on top of my fort. He decided to move here. And he's probably thinking like, okay, I'm going to go run and pillage down here, which I'm worried about because I'm building this fort here. If he moved here, it would cost me 800 gold. So that would be the best move for him, but it would be hard for him to know that. And what I'm threatening up here is to either kill his temple or kill his fort. Because there's nobody home to speak of. And yeah, I'm going to totally teleport in here. I mean, not teleport. I'm going to totally run in here and ransack this thing if I can. Which actually, you know, looking at it, I pulled these guys back. I probably should have kept these guys with them. And the reason for that will become clear later. But what I'm expecting he'll do is move this army up here or move this army here. And that's because I think what he's going to do is then follow... I think he's going to move here and then move here. And what that will do is it'll allow him to either threaten this fort or pull me off this one. So I think that's kind of a logical set of moves for him. But then if he jumps on top of this fort, I'm going to jump on top of this one. One thing that's becoming kind of clear now as the game evolves and I get more forts up, I can generate more troops than he can. And I have a big enough border against him now that it's very hard for him to deal with all the numerous threats I'm posting against him. So I think he could do that while he had super combatants, but now that he has to have such big armies, which are pretty fearsome, right? But because he has to have such big armies, it's really limited his ability to respond to my number of threats. That's the problem when you deathball a big army like this, is it's really hard to respond. Now, he's doing a good job. He's splitting it up. You see he has like a small army here, a small army here, and these things are kind of winning. You know, like, I attacked and this was not successful. With a kind of big chaff army, right? So it would look like this is successful, but he has a tiny little army here, right? He puts up Solar Brilliance, even though he doesn't have much, right? And then he's casting a bunch of stuff. You know, he's got Swarm out. So he's playing really, really well. You know, this is all you would want. This is really all you can do. It's a perfectly sized raid counter, right? So very, very efficient. One thing that's really cool and I love about the game is you can see, if we pause, these are Soulless Atlanteans. So I just love that detail put in the game where all these every race has Soulless or Undead. It's really cool that they took time to do that. Okay. So we've eliminated this Asphodelian threat, right? We're going to prepare. I want to try to send, and I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try. I want to send this guy with some fire shield or something and just have him plow through an Asphodel fort. And hopefully that will work. We'll see, though. Like, with fire shield, you can go through a pretty phenomenal number of troops. So I'm hoping he can, but we'll see. That would be ideal. And the thing is, this looks like a ton of troops, like it's going to be hard to break the fort. Really, it's just like 300, right? Because with mindless units, you divide by 10. So really, it's like 270. And then he probably has some normal troops that make it like 300. So all I need to do is put, a 600 army on it for a few turns, and it'll break it. So you can see there's a lot of logistics moving troops around. If we zoom out, what I'm trying to do is take all of my empty commanders up here, pull them into the underground and into my backline territories, grab a bunch of troops. My good troops, I'm going to funnel to both of my armies here and here, right? My shitty troops, I'm trying to weave them all the way up here and then pull them towards Asphodel. Asphodel's getting all of my crap troops, because he doesn't have mage support to counter them. And they're really good if you don't bring mage support against them. I mean, they can kill unlimited amounts of his troops. Unfortunately, as we're going along the way, we have to kind of deal with Ryla, which my crap troops aren't very good at. But I'm probably getting ready to mobilize this army. So anyway, there's a ton of logistics. Like, when I start a new turn, if I hit E, and it says, oh, you have this many commanders awaiting orders, it's about 170. So it takes me like a full 2 hours to play a turn out. So that's basically it. We're waiting. And we're waiting until we get Alteration 9. So that is this episode. I'm going to go ahead and hop to the next one, which is turn 100. Right, turn 100, we have a bunch of gems come in from Scaleria, because I had asked him, last time we had taken down Arcane Nexus. I had sent him back a bunch of gems because I was saying I think he's casting it kind of a little high, but not that high, and he'll recast it again as soon as we take it down. So hold on to these, we may need them later. Well, sure enough, he recast it, a few turns later, and we need him again. So we are going to go ahead and take it down this turn. And let's go through the events. So I cast Horror Specs, didn't find anything. Auspex, didn't find anything. Teleport. So this was the teleport here. This was my golem attacking. And this is a bit of a tragedy, and I think I scripted him wrong. So let's look. This is my first use of a real super combatant golem type thing against Ryla, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna work. I put him on attack rear, and so he's flying. He has flying boots, because I was like, flying boots are better. Let's give him flying boots. You know, that way he can get to the back and kill the mage support. And he does that. He jumps back here. And then this freaking water elemental. God, these water elementals are like the bane of my existence. So, I've got 50 HP left. Now, if you look at golems, one of the reasons they're good is they're slash and pierce resistant, so they can handle troops pretty well. I didn't put stone boots on him. I put air boots, because I was like, oh, it'll be better, da-da-da. Okay, it's not better. It was a really bad idea. So he gets just munched by this water elemental. All the damage is from the water elemental. Anyway, there's like, I don't know, how much was that? 90 gems or something? Horrendous. Okay, we found a magic site though, so I'm a little happy again. We found a painted cave. So that's nice. That was the golem battle. It's a battle in Triton Sea. How was that? Oh yeah, so you remember how I said I snuck my dude out so that he wouldn't get killed? Well, I did. So this is, he did twice born on one of his star spawn, and this is what's left. And this is another star spawn. So he TP's in two guys with four, they each have bottles of water, two of them. Right, and they are gonna kill me, right? They're gonna kill my super combatant. But my super combatant ain't be there no more. So, yeah, that didn't work. Anyway, he's up, where is he? I moved him right here, so he's sneaking around again. And now he's going to attack here, and he's not going to expect it. So this will be the third temple he's killed. So that's like 1,500 gold of damage. Plus, I'm really weakening his dominion. If I get his temples below a threshold, which I probably have, his max dominion score is going to drop, and he's going to lose dominion in all his provinces. So I'm really hoping I'm doing that. Meanwhile, guess who's not here anymore? The Wraith Lord is gone. So I'm sending in a little squad of dudes. And you need enough Mound King so that the one guy Mind Blasting isn't going to Mind Blast my dude. I can't send any ghouls in to soak up Mind Blast, so anyway. Should work. I'm also going to attack here with some dudes. They may die due to Mind Blast because I'm only sending one. I probably should have sent more. And true enough, this army did come up where I predicted they would go. They went up here. I don't think there was much here to fight them. I had one little squad. Anyway, they die. And what I'm expecting is he'll move here next, which actually has a great gold mine in it, which is pretty awesome. I would love to make that part of my kingdom. But not today. We're camping out here. I'm trying to... There's a few things I'm trying to do. I got a bunch of ghouls in here. I need to get my ghouls up here. So I'm trying to move a lot of them to like this province, and then from there, hopefully they can make it. I'm not sure if they can go across since this is forest, and ghouls are map move too. But I get a boatload here. How many do I get? Well, not that many. Just about 240. I probably should have sent more. Because this is 600. The number of ghouls I have in here is like 280. So really I need like another 400 ghouls to be able to keep this. So I should have sent maybe 200 more ghouls. Another 3 stacks or something. That would have been real smart, but I didn't do that. So I didn't really bring enough. Yeah. So that's kind of a mistake. We're going to continue expanding here, and we had a battle here on top of this fort. And Ryla was waiting for me, but I have a lot of troops. This is a big chaff army. So we get some communion slaves. Body Ethereal. And then look at these guys. They run straight to the back. This attack rear order worked totally perfectly. It bypassed all their army. And we're killing all of their communion little folks. And there we go. All of the Rylands are dead. We're going to mop up the remainder. And I can now break through the fort. If I break through the fort, I'm going to get the temple. So that is the goal. I want to break the fort. The other thing I'm doing is I've got this dude here. Now, so far I've been raiding ocean temples, so he may not expect me to raid a land temple. And I've got a scout here, so I'm quite sure that there's no star children here, which would magic duel me or something like that. So he's going to come in, going to do the same business he had been doing. And hopefully this guy's going to get, or this temple's going to get wrecked. And this will be the third temple now. And we're moving, like I already mentioned, this army here. So this will be the fourth temple. I think he had a temple here before that I killed. So anyway, we're doing a lot of Dominion damage to Ryla. I really want to get this one. Unfortunately, that Golem battle failed. If that Golem battle didn't fail, which there was a good chance it wouldn't have, all I had to do, I think, was attack the normal units first for this Golem battle, and then we would have killed the Water Elemental. But I don't know. I still could have lost that. I think that's about it for this turn. We're basically still stalling. We're waiting. I'm now very, very close. I'm 1 turn or 2 turns away from having Alteration 9. I'm also casting Dispel. So Dispel is going down this turn. The number of gems I'm putting into it is 129. And so it's 124 for the base spell, because I'm in a province that gives you a bonus, and then 105 on top of it. Plus the fact that my caster's level 4, it's going to be an overcast value of 104 gems, which probably will take it down. But you never know how many he put into it. If he puts it up again, I'm going to know that he's not putting many into it, and I'm not going to put 100 in the next casting. Because right now I'm assuming he's spending like maybe 200. So that is that turn, and then now we get to my current turn. Actually, we're really out of time. I think my current turn will be on a new episode, so thanks everyone.